All right, we are live. Hello, Facebook world. We'll see who joins here. We're super excited to have the CEO of the RVH Foundation, Eric Dean, with us today. How are you today, Eric?
Doing great, Brady. Thanks for doing this. We're looking forward to the show.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We can't wait for the show too. We're really this is gaining some steam. The businesses are rallying together. The community is coming together, and it's all for a great cause. So, for you that are just watching, you don't know what we're talking about. We are talking about the Barrie Virtual Community Day that is happening on May 8th. This is an all-day virtual event, so you can join by your phone, your computer, your iPad. You can have it playing in the background. You can be watching it, obviously, and it's going to be a full day. And it's brought to you by the local business owners of Barrie, and so you're going to hear from business owners on all different expertise. So 12 different sectors. I mean, you could be pools, nails, hair, renovations, interior design, music. We're going to be interviewing all these business owners. You're going to hear their stories. You're going to hear about some of the services that they can provide, but they're truly going to be dropping value bombs. They're going to be talking about, giving you nuggets that you can use today. So this is for you, the community and of the surrounding area of Barrie. The tickets are $3, and the money raised, all the proceeds are going to be going to the RVH Foundation as well as the Barrie Food Bank. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, you can check the streamer in the bottom. Please do. We look forward to seeing you on that day. But let's talk to Eric a little bit more now that I've told you what we're talking about. So again, Eric, thanks again. So let's talk about the RVH Foundation and what does it do for our hospital and for our community.
Sure. Thanks, Brady. And thanks first to all the businesses that are participating and everybody that's going to be watching on May 8th. It's been amazing to see the way the community has responded and the way so many of us have adapted to life in a contactless world. So the foundation at RVH is really the community arm, the fundraising arm to support Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre. RVH, it's between the Cancer Centre and the cardiac programs, the hospital, the surgeries. It's a place that serves in non-COVID times more than 1,300 people a day. So we are here to help channel community support, and what you're doing is a huge part of that.
Well, that's great. So thanks for that. So can you tell us where do the funds go? When people donate to the RVH Foundation, where does it go? Where could it go? And where does it really help?
Well, the foundation and the foundations across Canada really focused their efforts on big builds, bricks and mortar and such, but mostly on equipment. Most people don't recognize that government does not fund new technology in hospitals. That's been a community responsibility for years and years now. And it lets communities innovate. So when we get a new piece of equipment, a new technology available, like we did recently with cardiac catheterization labs, that's really a community responsibility to help put great tools in great hands. We also support teaching and research at the hospital. And in fact, we help out with some clinical trials and with research into community practice as well. And of course, then with big renovations and expansions, as we did with the Hearts and Minds campaign, and as we continue to do to make sure we can keep up with the population growth in Barrie. During things like COVID, the big responsibility has been able to help equip the hospital, increase the capacity of the ICU and other areas, and help programs adapt to being able to practice in this time when a lot of our online or a lot of our outpatient programs aren't available to patients.
Well, yeah. So the foundation is an integral part of not only our community, but like our healthcare system in our community to truly be able to deliver, help the people when they need it the best.
Yeah, absolutely. The community is so supportive here. It's been so important to being able to keep RVH growing over the last 120 years and long into the future.
That's great. Okay, so with regards to this event, so the proceeds, again, they're going to be going to the RVH as well as the food bank. Now, so the money is going to go towards the mental health sector, I guess, of the RVH Foundation. Can you explain to the listeners how the money will be used and how it's going to help in when they are delivered to you?
Yes, and for this, we really appreciate your group taking on mental health as the focus for the community day. The mental health program has had to innovate a lot to be able to help their patients at a time when the outpatient programs are not able to operate in person. So very early on in the pandemic response, the program began to explore how they could quickly launch virtual programming, go online, be able to do sessions just like we're doing today, to provide face-to-face contact while they couldn't be physical. So they invested in some online software that helps create virtual groups with all of the patient privacy protected, and also to invest in modules that let patients work on programs offline as well. So those investments are something that we'll be able to support through your help today. And it's meant that they can do both individual intakes for new patients, and then bring those patients together in groups that can continue to function and are functioning very effectively now in the absence of those outpatient programs.
Yeah, that's quite the adaptation that you've been able to undertake, and I'm sure the community is very appreciative of that. And I could only imagine. I mean, there were many times throughout the last 2 months where I was feeling personally angst, and I'm sure there's lots of people, feeling different things and totally need the support from the RVH in the mental health sector. So do you feel like this may be, when we start to go back to normal, do you think these tools that you've adapted to will be something that we can utilize in the future?
I really do. If you think about necessity as the mother of invention, there's been so many innovations that we've all had to adapt to. I mean, all of us have become better at Zoom meetings or any other form of virtual communication over the last several weeks. And one of the silver linings in this particular cloud really has been the group support programs, because they can support up to 20 people in an online call. That's actually more than we would normally do in a group, because our physical spaces for groups simply aren't that large. That's been able to help a little bit with both wait lists and with the effectiveness of being able to pull those groups together. And for people who would be challenged right now to be traveling and getting to an face-to-face appointment, this is a real benefit and a real innovation that we really proud of all of our teams for how they've adapted and been able to keep on providing care.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you just said there. So once again, Eric, thank you very much for spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes here with us. We really appreciate your insight as to where the money is going to go from the proceeds from this big event. So maybe I'll just once remind everybody that this is the Barrie Virtual Community Day. It is coming up on May 8th. If you haven't bought your ticket, they're only $3, and the proceeds are going to go to the Barrie RVH Foundation, as well as the Barrie Food Bank. So we look forward to seeing you all on this very exciting day. And once again, Eric, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Brady. Looking forward to May 8th.
All right. Perfect.